Welcome back to another episode. Kelly's back. Kelly, I'm not going to act like we didn't just chat for 30 something minutes. So let's just
Dude, I
kick
think it
into
was like,
it.
yeah, it was. It was about 45 minutes that we did. No, maybe about 30 minutes. You're right. Yeah.
You don't know. You're high. Time's passing you by differently.
Ooh, time travel, bro. I've always been about time travel.
That's what I'm telling you. That's the stoners are going to be the people of the future because they took acid and did all those drugs. And now they have the master of time travel because you're 40 years old. You crack your back. And next thing you know, you're 10 years old, taking a hit of LSD out of your mom's purse, wondering why she has LSD in her purse. Or are they just mints?
Damn. That's profound.
I'm trying to think deeply.
It wasn't bad. It's interesting. Stoners, man. Stoners are definitely in charge of the world these days. And I'll tell you how I know this. And maybe not stoners, just drug addicts. Something's wrong with these motherfuckers.
It's the tie-dye shirts. It's war paint.
It's like... I had to make sure I wasn't wearing a tie-dye shirt. I only have like a couple of them, but they're I do own a couple of tie-dye shirts. I'm not a hippie, but I do like brilliant colors. I feel like my tripod's a little crooked.
When people say that word, I'm not a hippie, I try and wonder what they mean by that, because I think a lot of it is also like Hollywood and then politicized, like with the anti-hippie movement, or was people trying to infiltrate hippies and like give them bad drugs to make them do crazy things, so they would start outlawing all these types of drugs. Like that's how the Manson thing goes. That was part of the anti-hippie movement, where they actually drugged Charles Manson to do his killings by giving him certain types of drugs that the government experimented. And that's what they did back in the day. They used to infiltrate hippie like protests and stuff like that, give these people drugs, and these people would wake up like in a fucking store naked, and everyone's like, what the fuck, like broke in there. And it's like that, and you would hear all these accounts of just hippies that were just being arrested, and then for horrible things like bank robbery and shit. It's because they don't remember it, because they were given a drug by the government.
Yeah, well, they were doing the same thing to the soldiers in Vietnam. They're fucking doing it at home. They're doing it abroad. They're giving
We're
us
all probably on drugs right now,
dude. I guarantee we are. They fluoridate our fucking water, man. And if you fucking do any kind of like real research into fluoride, you'll see that it was used during the MK Ultra experiments to fucking help make us more susceptible to subliminal messaging. So, I mean, that's a fucking fact. And yeah, anyway, I don't want to get into that whole fucking crazy thing. I want to talk about bullshit, man. You want to know what's bullshit, Robbie? What's bullshit is that I can't contact somebody live for customer service. There are fucking AI entities that run chat rooms, that talk to you on the phone. Some of them sound so much like real people that you can't distinguish them. And these companies are pushing for this tech. And, it reminds me of Elon Musk. Elon Musk is like the perfect villain. I don't know if you and I have discussed this or not. We have Jeff Bezos, who looks like Dr. Evil, literally flying around the planet in a dick-shaped fucking spacecraft that they built out of microchips during the middle of a microchip shortage that's so bad that American auto companies are having problems keeping their doors open. That's bullshit. Then we've got this dude, Elon Musk, who's sitting over here on the side, and he's like, AI is really bad. I'm going to be the first person to develop it. We should really all be scared of that shit.
I'm a fan of Elon Musk. I'm a fan.
I can't be. I cannot be. There's some things I want to like about him.
His Twitter name says name, and it has a blue check mark, which pisses everybody off because it doesn't say Elon Musk anymore. It just says name. And I was like,
verified.
Because when it says the thing, it says enter your name for like when you're gonna put in your profile name. And he's like, okay, name. And then that's what he did. He's like, name. And I thought that was funny as shit. But everyone's like, it just pisses people off because that check mark is like getting. And here's something interesting I wanted to bring up was today. We're having like a storm going on right now. But on this day that we're recording, it feels like fucking Christmas. And I don't know why. And I think it was when I usually when it's Christmas time, I'm always driving to family members' houses, and it's always a pain in the ass on the road because everybody's trying to get to their family's house to go. And I don't know if this is this might be just a random rant, but on Christmas Day, everyone wakes up, does whatever they need to do, and they start getting ready usually to head to a family member's house to have Christmas or have whatever. And it's like a giant mess of rush hour fucking bullshit traffic and whatever of a bunch of people that don't give a fuck about your feelings, don't give a fuck if you need to get to your family's location to have time. But then there's like a good period in the middle of the day, like 3 or 4 hours, where there's like barely anybody on the road. And
Mm-hmm.
just from the beginning, when everyone was on the fucking road, because everyone's in their house having the memories and creating something personal with their unique family member that we don't even get a part of. So, as me and you are having a conversation right now, there's somebody listening to this that is hearing our thoughts in this conversation, probably maybe a year from now, maybe 4 months from now, maybe the next day from when this episode gets published. It makes me start to think of, like, as I'm doing this right now, what is going on in the world around me that I might, like, if you're off social media for 5 minutes, you end up missing like 3 bomb threats, a fucking mass explosion, a zombie apocalypse, and someone chopped their dick off and shoved it in their eye socket. I don't know. What I'm saying is, like, this is the whole, like, digital deal and love of why people love this type of thing is because they want to be involved and they want to feel like they're on the cusp of every new thing that's happening. So when someone comes up to you and I say, "Hey, Kelly, do you know what space, time, flow, dimensional traffic is?" You can think of what that means, but you don't know the exact definition of what I'm talking about. But you'll go, "Yeah, Robbie, I know what that is." Okay, I just fucking threw a bunch of words together and I put it into a sentence. And you're like, "Oh, really?" And then it goes into this like joke and laugh, but nobody wants to feel like they have less information than somebody else. And most of the time in the world, it's very, very crazy and shocking when somebody says, "Hey, did you know this?" Like, rest in peace, Norm Macdonald died. That's one of my all-time favorite comedians as well, too, up there with Robin Williams. Now, with his passing, I was telling a bunch of people that's not fucking true. And then they found out, oh my God, it was refreshing to hear somebody say, "I did not know," because everybody nowadays knows fucking something. And I don't know if that's a
Mm-hmm.
factor of this device, but it makes me start to wonder, like, I've been only posting and then ghosting off my social media. And I'm starting to notice like how I'm reacting to things now, where it's like I click on, I see something, I just click off because it's become all politics and shit. But then I can see why people, and this leads into the Elon Musk thing, why they're getting addicted to Elon Musk and how he pisses people off. Because when you have something where you're trying your hardest to verify who you are as a person, get that fucking blue check mark. That blue check mark is like $1 billion to a lot of people. It's a sign of like approval. It's a sign of acceptance that a lot of people want and need. But nobody knows is like they could take that check mark away from you all because they disagree with you. If they don't,
Mm-hmm.
if that check mark is not supposed to mean you're a popular figure, which is what some of the characteristics to fill it out and actually get the check mark means, but it
Mm-hmm.
actually means to verify who you are as a person to make sure that
Right.
nobody's stealing your identity. So if you have
Right.
multiple people trying to steal your identity, you can do that, show the proof of it, then you get a check mark by it. I know people with 3,000 followers that have a check mark.
Oh wow.
But then you look at, like, they can take that away from you, then what does that do to you psychologically when you find
I,
out that, like, oh my God, they took the fucking check mark away from me? Maybe I'm not who I am, or maybe I did something wrong. And then you have to appease them or please them or do something.
mm-hmm.
And it starts to make me wonder of like, are we really being who we want to be, or are we just being things that we're manipulated to be? Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're
Well,
not mad at Elon Musk. Maybe we're just mad at the fact that he has a check mark and we don't.
um, that's an interesting thought. And how can I was always under the impression that the blue check mark meant that this account was verified, that you are who you are, and that no one is stealing your identity. So if that's the truth, how is that even something that can ever be taken away?
Identity
The
theft.
verification, the verification of your identity. Well, I guess if your account was hacked,
Well,
but
it's only going to be taken away from you if you don't agree with what we agree with. So that means if you say something politically that is against Biden or whoever on Twitter, that means you're going to probably get
sure.
your check mark
Well,
removed.
look, they removed Donald Trump entirely from the fucking
Yeah.
internet. You know what I mean? Like one of the richest men in the fucking country, maybe in the world. I don't know. And it's just like, oh wow, that to me, that's just like whether you agree with what he's done or what he hasn't done or any of that bullshit. I don't give a fuck. Politics aside, the man is the man, and the man is an American citizen, and the man does have a voice, whether you believe he created dissidents or not. In the fucking ripples in the fucking in the sea, whatever. he is still who he is. He still is a voice. He's not a convicted criminal. And why has his voice been taken away? Like entirely bullshit. You know
I
what I mean?
I don't like it because I think we want to look for information, and then sadly the only thing that's available for you to look for information are some biased sources. And I know
mm-hmm.
like so many people, like I sent you that Joe Rogan clip.
Yep.
CNN and MSNBC made his face look
Using
yellow
filters.
using filters to show that he
Yes.
was more jaundice than he actually was, making him look more sick with COVID. And he said, no, it's a fucking lie. And
Right. And then they're gonna go, what they're gonna do is they'll probably put some sort of spin on it, like, oh, he's crazy, he takes fucking horse drink. He's lying about that. He's lying to fucking, you know what I mean? Because Joe Rogan has some sort of evil agenda for like he wants everybody to get sick with COVID. You know what I mean? Like, so he's gonna, of course, make it like, oh, it wasn't that bad. They made it worse. That's the kind of spin that I feel like CNN or MSNBC would put on what he just
I
said.
just don't think headlines should be published until we have 100% factual information on stuff. Like, why
Denzel
is it
Washington says it.
like
You ever
what
heard? You ever seen the clip?
of what?
Denzel Washington, where he blasts the fucking media. It's a real popular fucking like mainstream clip. Even is fucking neat. This, you know, he's talking about like if you don't read the paper, you're uninformed, and if you do read the paper, you're misinformed. And the problem is that there's become such a rush to become first in media that it doesn't even have to be true. Just be the first person to say it. Nothing is verified. Nothing is fucking, you know what I mean, fact checked or whatever. And fucking people are just out there producing headlines for the sake of producing headlines. But this is a thing that's been going on for many years. This goes back to like, and this probably goes back to even further than that. But you know what? I did some study for a college class that I was taking a couple of years ago. Um, on the War of the Worlds. Okay, the Orson Welles broadcast, and there's like you can go back and find New York Times and Wall Street Journal and Washington Post articles that discuss all of this mad panic in the streets and how millions of people were, you know, freaking out and fucking blah 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 blah. The truth of the matter is, less than 1% of the American population tuned into the broadcast. So that's less than 1 million people listen to that. So millions of people panicking in the street is a fucking gross um misrepresentation of anything that would have happened.
You know what happens when you
There
type
were a
in
couple of hold on a second. There were a couple of incidents where people called in and reported to police some weird whatever throughout the country, throughout the nation, but there was like 3 incidents. Okay. And so what it turns out to be is at the time, radio was just becoming very popular. And these print media companies were threatened, felt very threatened by by radio. And at this time there was not television, obviously, but you know what I mean, it came. And so at the time they were very threatened by radio, and so they took and spun these stories and made these elaborate hoax tales and published them as news about all this mass panic and blah blah blah, and how look what the radio did, look what Orson Welles did on his broadcast, and blah blah blah. But this wasn't the case, because you can actually find like other reporters who have made mention of like the fact like they were walking through the streets and it was silent. There was no, you know.
well, now you're hitting the big core issue is like why would news immediately try and get the most reactionary post? Because what does the most reactionary stuff do? It sells. And when the
Right.
most things that are reactionary sells, that means you get more money. Why is money such a high uphold of society? Well, it's the way to function and do things. Well, then maybe you should fix your society to where it doesn't need so much money so people aren't really literally destroying the future by causing misinformation or causing all these things to say. I think anybody should have an opinion. My issue on censorship is obviously I don't want somebody saying something that's going to cause somebody to hurt themselves, but then I'd be a hypocrite if I said that I just don't want that, because that
Right.
means that gives them the goalpost to move anything. And I think that's a good goal to have, is you don't want anybody hurting themselves, but anybody should be able to say whatever the hell they want to say because that's their right to do so. You know, we shouldn't be limiting people on those types of things. But an interesting conspiracy theory is that when you type in 1984, most older people think George Orwell. Well, when you type in 1984 on your computer, you know what you're going to get?
No, I don't.
Wonder Woman 1984.
No, yeah, I mean, so that makes absolutely sense because it's the most recent relevant search for
It's
things
the
and probably,
top
you know.
thing. So what
Yeah.
happened was my buddy gave me this thing, and this happened to be the video that was taken off YouTube, that ended up getting put back up there. But it was Brandon,
Mm-hmm.
from Skeptophobia podcast, and all. I think it's Rivals versus Pride now. But I want to give him a shout out for it because I sent him an article that I saw that it was a 45-minute video talking about how Disney has this giant cover up where they might be in cahoots with like government politicians. And I was like, that's fucking nuts. It was his exact conspiracy we said 2 months before that article was released. I was like, yo,
Mm.
somebody listening to my show and fucking taking his shit. But hang on a
Well,
second. So Frozen, when I say the word
mhm.
Frozen and you think of Disneyland, you think of the fucking movie, right?
Probably, yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Try typing in on your fucking computer Disney, Frozen, or Walt Disney. You don't get the frozen head being locked in the giant conspiracy that Walt Disney's head was
Mm-hmm.
fucking frozen. You get the movie, and then on the front
Right.
of the Frozen thing, you have Olaf taking off his head. That's the thing, is
Mm.
they used it to cover it up. You type in
Mm-hmm.
frozen head, you type in Frozen, you type in Walt Disney Frozen, you type in Walt Disney's frozen head, you get the frozen Olaf snowman taking off his head. They fucking covered it up. You type in George
Mm-hmm.
Orwell 1984, they fucking covered it up. Wonder Woman 1984. There's plenty of other movies that if you look
Dude,
through their catalog that cover that shit up. Now that's a conspiracy,
that's
and it's a
crazy.
fucking good one, because when
It
I
just
saw that article that was on, it's a Snapchat story, but it was
it
a
gives me the cold
45-minute
chills.
video. Yeah.
That's how good this conspiracy is because, dude, that's mind blowing. And you know what? Mind boggling. And it makes absolute perfect sense. And it is 1984 happening. They're fucking erasing history and fucking replacing it with newspeak. Tell me, like, change my mind.
I think it's a lot of the times it's the words that they use as well too. A lot of the words that they
Sure.
use are very, very like high popular, huge words. And like I'm not a Trump fan and I'm not a Biden fan, but there was that Tara Reid girl,
Charged words.
Tara Reid, who had a
Mm-hmm.
sexual scandal with Biden, talking about how Biden
Mm-hmm.
would randomly do like sexual things to her. Kamala Harris was on her side supporting her and saying we need to like condemn Biden. And then next thing you know, they just offered her a vice president position, and now we never get to fucking see her on TV anymore. Now, I'm sure Trump has some shit with him too. But the only thing I liked about Trump is the same thing I like about Elon Musk, is they don't give a fuck if they piss people off. And I think
Mm-hmm.
there needs to be more of that. There's too many people out there. I want a president that's going to, and I don't want Trump, but I want a president that's going to go into office and just be like, hey, I'm going to be honest about the shit I don't fucking know. Because every time it's somebody like saying something, doing something, calling somebody this or making a false allegation, or maybe it's this or maybe it's that. Trump did it too. I fucking hate that. I want the real shit. If you don't know, then don't try and destroy a person's character about it. If you do know and you think this is a giant thing that needs to be talked about, then you should have somebody investigate it and get all your fucking facts in a row, because we still have people that expose government projects or expose government things that end up getting killed. 2 shots to
Well,
the
I
back of
was
the head.
just going to say the last president who tried to do exactly what you're talking about was John F. Kennedy, and he was assassinated by the fucking military industrial complex because his predecessor, fucking Eisenhower, came out and like told him, warned him, and said, "Man, like you be careful of these fucking people," and not just him, but he made public fucking like warnings about the MIP. You know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, the MIC. Um, and you know, like be careful how much power you give these motherfuckers. That's paraphrasing what he said, obviously, but he made public statements warning us against the control that the military industrial complex was achieving at that time. And then JFK comes out and he's like, look, I want to talk about these things. And they're like, no, you can't talk about these things. You know
There's
what I
just a
mean?
lot
And
of shit that doesn't add up with the JFK thing.
oh
Like
my God.
I don't know anybody who really believes the magic bullet theory, like the fact that a bullet
No,
could
that's
bounce off walls and shit.
that's like almost been like to me that's almost been factually disproved at this point, man. Like it's just been like there's no like we should all know by now that fucking Lee Harvey Oswald was a patsy. He was set up by the fucking government to take the fall on that. He may have been an MK Ultra fucking experiment or something. He may have had something to do with that, but he wasn't the fucking only shooter in that fucking situation. If he even was a shooter in that situation, because there's a lot of things that don't add up with that too. But um, it's just there's two sides to everything is a coin. There is nothing that's not like two-dimensional here, okay? And fucking every two-dimensional object has at least two sides to fucking talk about. And so it boils down to a matter the truth about everything is so mired and really kind of hidden that unless you were there as an eyewitness, from a third person point of view, in a fucking very special situation. You know what I mean? You don't know the truth about anything. And this has been like proven time and time again. There was this guy, this magician I used to watch on TV, and I wish I could remember his name, but he was like trying to prove like false memory, how quick false memories can be incorporated into things. And so like he would have like he would set up a situation. A guy would come through and perform an action. Maybe he would come up and steal somebody's cell phone or their wallet or something and then take off and whatever. And then somebody else would be like, oh, did you see that guy? He was this and he was that, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden somebody says he was wearing a red jacket. And everybody else is like, oh yeah, he was wearing a red jacket. But the guy wasn't wearing a red jacket. He may not have been wearing any kind of jacket at all when he came through that crowd. But the power of suggestion can do a lot of strange things to our minds almost immediately because we don't have like consistent, proper, like 100% memory. We don't have.
Well, that's just eyewitnesses' accounts are probably the least credible accounts. So recently, I've been getting interested in a lot of the UFO stuff, at least trying to talk to people from there and trying to get their perspective. And a lot of them, some of them know their shit, a few of them for sure.
Mhm.
Now they're talking about like the three lights in the sky that I've talked about. Like I've heard three people say that exact same description without ever
Mhm.
meeting each other, and they were
Right.
episodes that were a year apart, basically. And he talked about it might just be an electrical phenomenon that we can't explain yet, like something that the Earth naturally does that have caused these crazy coincidences. The thing with eyewitnesses accounts are unless you have military experience or you've been in a dramatic situation that has caused your adrenaline to rush where you're so used to it that it doesn't affect you as much, like gives you a kind of
Mhm.
like how some people
A
have
trained
PTSD.
observer.
So
Hmm.
you're not going to remember every small detail. So just using the power of suggestion, like, are you sure it wasn't a red color? You go, maybe it was a red color because
Hmm.
your memory of that is so fragmented that anything can be
Hmm.
added onto it. This is when I get into like the mind control shit, dude. Just like
Right.
the words that you can say, the things that you do, the things that you can display that can cause someone to run off on their own because your brain is kind of like these AI algorithms we were talking about.
Hmm.
So like
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
might have issues with AI algorithm service calls. There's definitely issues, but you got to look through the
Absolutely.
eyes of like I think it's actually beneficial to have those. I actually might want to talk to them more than talk to a fucking person sometimes. But I don't think now is the time for them. I think it's going to be better in the next couple of years. So Elon Musk, a lot of people are attacking him because not only the rocket stuff and the SpaceX team, but he made Tesla bots. So they're
Hmm.
robots that you're going to be able to bring into your house. And they're like
Right.
they look like the things from like iRobot, the first
Hmm.
ones, not the second ones. And it's like artificial intelligence, but I mean, your Amazon Alexa or your Echo, whatever it is, those things have an algorithmic code in it that is able to learn your patterns, learn your search history, much like your phone can do. And I think we're going to
Hmm.
end up perfecting that solution to the point where it's going to actually work in our best favor. And I'm going to sit my fucking robot in front of Alex Jones and just have him watch constant Alex Jones videos all day. So then when I talk to him, he's like, the political. I'm like, yes, this is the robot I want. This is the one I wanted. And it's interesting because I think we're going to head more towards a cyberpunk era than anything. And I don't know if it's either going to be that or all civilization is just going to fall. Because I feel like at this point, this whole timeline that we're in, it's either going to get like to a perfect point, like maybe all this disasters and all these things that are happening with us as humanity, like all this fighting and all this, maybe this is the final like step before our next evolution process where we become a perfect species. Like you remember 10 years ago when you guys were fighting and storming the Capitol and all that? Yeah. Well, you guys aren't like that anymore. You actually have now evolved. See, you guys see the errors in what you did and you've learned past them. But all I'm seeing is society throughout history make the same fucking mistakes over and over and over again, where I'm like, maybe it's not this timeline that we make it to the evolution. Maybe apocalypse has to happen, everything dies, and then the next evolution or next timeline of humanity that comes up, the next species that comes up is better and perfects it. I think maybe that's what we've always constantly have done. But this is just thoughts. This is just kind of like
So,
high
we,
thoughts in it,
dude,
man.
you and I, and no, it's not. It is not. And I'm gonna tell you what, dude, you don't know this about me. I'm actually working on a trilogy of books that address almost an identical issue to this, and have been for the last couple of years. I would like to finish them and get them published at some point. But you know what, Robbie, you're some days you're the hammer and some days you're the nail, and today you're the hammer, man, because you're fucking hitting it right on the head with this. So, all right.
You just put two fucking catchphrases or whatever together. That was pretty good. Respect.
Thank you, sir. Um, I am personally terrified of robotic AI on a deep level, on a very serious level, Robbie. And I'll tell you why. Okay, first of all, and people are going to be like, ha, 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 ha. I've seen the movie Terminator. Okay, I know where this is heading. I firmly believe that the end result, end game for this is a Terminator type scenario. And so my reasoning behind this is, Robbie, I'm 45 years old. Okay, I'll be 46 in March. And when I was about 13 years old, I got my first computer. It was an 8286 IBM clone. And for you, you may not know what that is, but there's going to be like geeks out there who know what the fuck I'm talking about. Had a monochrome monitor, a 300 baud modem, which is like one of the first like internet speeds. Like there wasn't even internet. You just called up other computers and they would talk to each other, and you could, whatever, like send messages to one another, like fucking almost texting or whatever. But anyway, so I started tearing this computer apart, and I had a buddy who built them. He had built this one and given it to me. He was a missionary. And I got into learning about tech. Okay, computer tech. I tore the computer apart, rebuilt it, built it a little better. And next thing I knew, he was giving me parts for a 386 and then a 486. And then, you start getting into Pentium processors and then Pentium 2 chips. And this is like back in the day. This is dated technology, which is really strange because it's not that dated. It's 20 years old. Well, it's probably at this point, it's probably 30 years old because I was, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. But something that was always ingrained into me, drilled into me. And I've taken like computer tech courses. I fiddled with the shit. I started off with like Logo. I remember like, I don't know if you know what the Logo program was, but Apple IIe computers were a big thing in elementary schools back in the early 80s. Probably the late 70s. They were the first PCs. And you could like, give this little turtle a command on the screen, and it would do this, it would make little drawings or whatever, and it would make moving drawings. So I started off with that, and then I got into middle school, and that advanced, into typing classes. And then of course, by the time I was in high school, I was tearing computers apart and rebuilding them, and I was taking shit, like anything I could take that was technology related, like computer aided drafting, any of those type of courses. In college, I've taken, like programming courses, different coding courses, shit like that. I've done a lot of stuff with computers over the years. I used to build computers. I was a tech for the Air Force as a general contractor, a civilian contractor, I'm sorry. And for several years, dude, I like developed a couple of networks for them, engineered a couple of networks, and administrated a couple of networks. I did a lot of weird shit for these guys. And so I'm very familiar with technology, modern technology and computer systems, and something that has always been ingrained by everybody who's ever taught me anything about computers is computers don't make mistakes. Input error, user error is what causes computers to make mistakes. Now, I've said all of that because there is a video where you can watch this company out of Japan or China or some places developed a robot called Sophia. And she looks like a human being, basically. They put like a skin mask on her, face skin mask. So there's an interview with her, and like this guy is like, a lot of people are afraid that you're gonna destroy humanity. Tell me, Sophia, are you going to destroy humans? And she's like, okay, I will destroy humans. That was not user input. If that bitch had been hooked up to Skynet, dude, we'd all be eating fucking nuclear radiated fucking bullshit right now. She's going to destroy fucking humans. Why did she say that?
I'm pretty sure she said they talked about like, what do you think that the human race, how do you think it could be perfected? And she said something like on the lines of like, my goal, or what is your goal? Or what are your goals and dreams? And then she responded to perfect the perfect human. And then Bill Burr's joke was, shut it the fuck off. Just because I get scared when something like that happens. But this is what I think is going to happen. We have there's two giant kind of fields of study a little bit that are kind of in like conflation with each other. So there's a thing called futurists, and futurists are people that are pro technology. They want they want technology inside of us.
Right.
They want us to evolve into these cyborg.
Well, we already have it.
Well, here's the thing is that what I talked about before with you is that maybe it's advancing our natural evolution by letting technology do it for us. Now, if you're relying on something, that means without it, you cannot do the basic functions. How long until how many generations are we relying on artificial lungs or some type of thing to do the working for us? Where if it ever got removed or something happened, like a technology failure, then we wouldn't be able to survive
Solar
without
flare.
it. Okay. But now with futurists, there's also another thing called biohacking. Now, biohacking is finding certain ways to be able to trigger certain parts of your body and your brain to be able to unlock things about your regular physical organic material than you already know of. And I think
Right.
this is more important because much like with MK Ultra, where we're able to brainwash people or do all these types of things with certain types of drugs, I think there's certain ways that we can help make society evolve in a regular, natural, organic way that is going to cause our body to get to the spots it needs to get to without
Dude,
relying on a certain tech to be able to do so.
there are schools out there that are teaching kids how to fucking do remote viewing and how to fucking do, and it's amazing, dude. Like there's a school in Russia. I cannot think of what the name of it is right now, but I will definitely like track it down and send you a link for it, dude. I just watched this thing today, dude. And these kids are like, they got one kid holding a set of cards and he's like the kid's calling a color or a number and the kid flips the card and they're like 3, 9, 4, 6, 26, fucking blah, blah, blah. And they're just like rattling all this shit, orange, blue, red, yellow, green, orange, blue, green, yellow, red, blah, 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 blah. And it's fucking like, boom, everyone is like, boom, 100% accurate. And I'm just like, oh, this is a psychic, like remote viewing fucking operation that's been like going on between fucking in the Russia and in Russia and in the United States for like the last 60 years at least. I think that they're well more advanced over us, but there's no secrets on the planet anymore, man. You can't keep a secret on the surface of the planet, at least. I don't know about interior, which is probably why they keep drilling deeper. They're trying to hide these fucking see how far do you have to go before the electromagnetic field of the earth interferes with psychic remote viewing ability. We obviously can't go very far upward because Van Allen belts and
Well, this is how it explains certain characteristics of why people are getting to astral projection or certain types of meditation to be able to unlock certain parts about their body, where they might just be creating their own reality on an aspect of like in their head, they believe what they're doing is doing the things that they're able to do. But a lot
well,
of
is it
these,
just in their head though? Because frequency vibration, man. Like if you're putting out a frequency and vibration, one of the most important things that the rich people, powerful people in the world talk about is mantras.
if I
Okay.
see you meditating and you think you're astral projecting, I could kick you right in the fucking head, and I guarantee you my foot's going to connect with the side of your fucking face. There's no ghost floating above your fucking body.
Oh,
But in your
sure,
reality,
absolutely.
you can trick your brain into thinking that you are literally floating above your body. This is how we get a lot of experiences when people take drugs. The drug might help you be able to react to these certain things, to be able to have these crazy mind bending experiences and hallucinations. But your mind is creating that with the use of something. What's to say we can't get you to a point where your brain can naturally have those types of hallucinations, much
Well,
like
you
in
can talk about
schizophrenia?
mycelium. You're talking about
I
the
know,
mycelium
but I'm
network, right?
saying without a fucking drug to be able to do so. If your brain can
But
naturally react this certain way, and some people say that even taking psychedelics, myself, I'm in more belief of it's just a plant's natural chemical reaction or defense mechanism that causes you to hallucinate when you take these drugs so you don't kill the whole entire plant. You usually take a little bit and then trip out. I think this bacteria that's having a reaction on our brain, I think our brains can naturally get to a point where we can have experiences like that. That's why some people are like mentally
well,
unwell or mentally sick or need to be in an insane asylum because their reality is morphed. So I
well,
think
that's
there's a way to fix that by not doing lobotomies or not by doing electroconvulsive therapy, which was the cure to schizophrenia for a long time. Maybe there's a possible way that we can pull you back into this reality just because in your own mind you're perceptually warped, and that just comes from a basic understanding of more neuroscience or more neurochemical pathways. There's more belief in psychology now that a lot of the traits that we develop, a lot of these people that are very, very pissed off and aggression towards a lot of these younger generations that are causing tech to be like their main source of like information and main source of like how they provide their everyday life thoughts. There's more belief that those were the people that were more aggressive in the group back in the day that would go out on hunts. The people
sure.
that are up in the middle of the night that don't sleep during, or don't sleep at night. Instead, they sleep during the day and they're up in the middle of the night, might be what they call night watchers, where people that watch the campfire at night and watched over people while they slept to make sure no attackers came in. There's more belief that we have more ancestral traits that are locked inside of us that we can actually not lose, but unlock even more. But the fact
Well,
that we're evolving so quickly, we're missing those basic DNA strands that we're actually cutting out.
no, it's genetic memory. You know what I mean? What you're talking about there is a type of genetic memory. And the reason why I brought up the mycelium is because, not necessarily because, well, there is a lot of experimentation currently, with mushrooms and molds or whatever, like microdosing to help control schizophrenia and shit like that. But I think that we're just as connected as people as spore are through the mycelium network. Um, and so, and I do believe that these spore, when we take them, the hallucinations that we have, I think are their way of chemical communication with us. They're probably a collective. They have some sort of collective memory. These things came from, it's very possible that spore came from an asteroid 400 million years ago, or a billion years ago, or who knows how fucking long ago. But they seem to be able to travel through space, or what we would consider space. So there's these interesting traits about mushrooms, and I think that they are an intelligent species that are interconnected. And I think that whenever, and I don't know, there's like, I've heard some other people kind of like remotely mention this, and there's like some popular theories, I guess, regarding this. And I haven't really studied that too terribly much because I'm not into hallucinogenics myself, even into microdosing anymore. But I do believe that there's like something we can learn from them. And that is that we're connected. Everything in this universe is connected electromagnetically, through sound frequency. If you study cymatics at all, you can understand that, you'll learn, if you study cymatics at all, you'll learn, if you're able to understand frequency and vibration, that all matter owes its existence to some sort of frequency, some
Well,
sort of sound vibration.
what
And
you're
that's where, go
what you're
ahead.
hinting at is a bigger scientific theory. It's called stoned ape theory, which was that if we evolved from chimps, and a lot of might have enhanced our evolution to get on this drastic, because it's so hard to account for that our brains have expanded basically so
See,
fast,
I
quicker.
do not believe that we evolved from chimps. I believe we were engineered by a
I
higher
can see
species that's
monkeys
here on this
fucking in a
planet.
zoo, and it's basic distinctive traits that people have as well too. I don't know. I
No,
thought that was
there's
the biggest belief. Where do you think we came from? We think we're stardust?
no. I think that we were engineered by fucking aliens. And not even aliens, but things that lived on this planet long before we did.
I don't think aliens have come here yet.
I think that they've existed here way before we ever got here. I think there are species that live inside this earth and around this earth. Now, see, for a number of years, for over 25 years, I've studied. This is a great topic, man. I do some lecturing on this, man. And so I'm going to get to finally address this issue. Almost every culture in the world has a creation story. And almost every one of those creation stories, um, with the exception of some very specific ones like the Uluru, and even the Uluru belief is somewhat similar, but because we woke up from the dream time into what we are is now the reality. But so you talk about the voice of God, okay? God spoke and things were created. That's a Christian belief. And then you've got like the, science believes in the Big Bang. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, that sounds like the voice of God. And you start studying cymatics and understand that, like frequency, sound, and vibration is responsible for the creation of matter. It affects matter. It changes the way that matter arranges itself. Um, and so there's some really interesting things that like all of a sudden kind of fall into place, and all these stories begin to align at some point. And I do believe that they're like, the Hopi talk about the Anak ant people. And then you've got like they came from under the ground and taught them how to plant corn and shit. And survive in this harsh desert landscape. And you go over a few thousand miles and you got these insectoid beings from other fucking, like, all these cultures have drawings and tales about the same basic like entities, man. Sky people and people from under the ground. And I don't think that's a fucking coincidence, man. That's not like his. If you look back 10,000 years and you go back 250,000 years and you go back however long fucking Homo sapiens have existed on this fucking planet, and realize how hard of a lifestyle it was for them to live. I don't see in my mind people sitting around having the time to just make up these fantastic tales about fucking from the sky or from the underground. Like, I think these are things that these people actually fucking encountered, and they were fucking documenting them in the only way that they knew how to, like through things like cave paintings and carvings and shit. And then, like, I don't think the myths and legends of all these tales are not necessarily myths and legends. Like, Walt Thornburg is a brilliant scientist who believes in a thing called the electric universe theory. And if you're not familiar with that, I really suggest that you do some study into that, because it's an oppositional theory to gravitational theory, and it's fucking genius, and it's brilliant. And there's a lot more. It fills in gaps that fucking standard physics and modern science are having issues with even today, and have for the last 50 years or 60 years or 70 or 90 years. And so, or even 200 years, 500 years. So the electric universe theory is very interesting. But these things that these people talk about taking place even 2000 and 2500 years ago, you know what I mean? Celestial events may have been real events that occurred.
Do you think it's possible that it could just be a group high type thing? Like a lot of people talk about if you go onto any Reddit dashboards or you go onto any release stories or accounts of people taking psilocybin or some type of psychedelic drug, they talk about seeing like the exact same things. This is how the whole theory of aliens might be interdimensional. You might need a psychedelic to be able to see them. These how these theories come across is that maybe it just might be a chemical reaction of the drug that you're taking causes you to see certain things. It's how people can see ant people coming out from under the ground. Maybe it's a certain thing that they're taking.
Well, group hallucination, I don't know, man. Like,
Well, if I
so
tell
I've
you
taken a
something,
lot of, so I have, like I mentioned before, I have a lot
Kelly,
of experience.
but if I tell you something right now, then maybe you might forget that I told you, that you reiterate it to somebody else and you said, I heard
Mhm.
it from somewhere. That's how a
Right,
lot
sure.
of these stories and things get
Absolutely.
told. Sometimes they just
Sure.
get stuck up into your head. There's plenty of times when I was smoking weed that I would think of something that I heard somewhere, but then it would be part of that reality that I was in, that high state that I was in. I would start being like, I
Mm-hmm.
remember people could like, if your throat starts closing up, then I feel like my throat would start closing up. You start realizing that this is like things that you might see or come across. This is what dreams, when I talk about dreams, your dreams, that people in your dreams
Mm-hmm.
are things that you've seen in your everyday life that you subconsciously remember. But then someone brings up the point, like my buddy Dylan, who says, what about if they're just memories of your past lives? Could they be
Can we
memories of
have can we have a 26-hour episode, dude? Because, dude, we are about to get into some shit, dude. That man, like,
go
this is
ahead,
so
don't
deep,
fucking hold
dude.
out
Like,
on me.
man, like, okay, I've had a lot of experience with hallucinogens. Okay, and I've actually only shared one shared experience, like the same hallucination that my ex-wife had at the same time as her when we were on mushrooms together. But every other experience that I've ever had with hallucinations, I didn't trip the same shit that the person next to me tripped. But the power of suggestion, as we said before, is a powerful thing. And I'm a pretty strong-minded motherfucker. Like, I'm a pretty intelligent. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty intelligent guy. You know, I'm smart. I can think. I can have a conversation. I'm not a dumbass. And there's a lot of people out there who are, and you know what I'm talking about. These
I'm a
NPC
dumbass.
characters. No, you're not. Shut the fuck up. Quit derailing me, dumbass. um, but no, there are NPC characters out there who just, like, they're programmed to do like certain functions. You're going to interact with people. You're going to meet people in the world that you interact with that are just like really dumbed down. And then once in a while, you meet like these PC characters. You meet like this other character that's kind of like, um, consciously aware of what the fuck is going on around them, and you're able to have an intelligent conversation with them, and it's not just some dumbed down bullshit like, oh, hi, good morning, how are you, thank you, I'm programmed to do and say 10 things, and then I'm going to go home and plug into the TV for the next fucking 16 hours while I recharge, and then get up and do this routine all over again. Those are your NPCs, and those people exist in mass quantities. And then you have like these other characters who are like I said, intelligent characters who make some sort of sense, who you can actually positively interact with. Man, I'm good. There's so much shit like swimming through my head right now about what the fuck you were just talking about, Robbie. Like, I wanted to interrupt you like 20 times and just be like, I gotta put this in there, I gotta put this in there. And so, like, I'm kind of derailed on my train of thought now. But man, like,
Is it possible that you might have had your own separate high because of the fact that your life has been completely unique? Everybody's life is unique, but a lot of people's base characteristics and a lot of lifestyles that we're living now that I feel like are affecting future generations are kind of the same. We all go to our jobs. Our jobs may vary, but we also go home, we sleep, we probably interact, we spend most of our times on our phone. That's why so many experiences and so many stories are very, very boring, like especially kids my age, for instance. I'm only interested in hearing older people talk a lot of the time because they actually had all this whole era where there wasn't a cell phone. So you would do many things instead of going to school and then afterwards going home and playing Xbox. You now have stories of going home and then going out and hanging out with your friends late at night and driving at 2 o'clock in the morning and doing crazy shit where you get arrested or something like that. You have
Oh,
a
like the
unique,
time we, like
well,
the
you
time we
have a
stole the
you
357 out of this dude's pickup truck and went and shot a bunch of holes to the church sign downtown in Albuquerque,
Well, look,
2 a.m.
you have a completely different experience because you also
Yeah.
have probably something that's a very minuscule, very, very minuscule population thing, which is the fact that at one point you were a cult leader as well too. Your highs might be completely unique to you on the basis of that small thing or big thing that happened in your life that a lot of people have not had.
Dude, and I have to remind myself of that a lot. It's a good, you bring that point up, and it's very true, Robbie. Like, there's so many things that I say that I'm like, people ask me, have you ever watched the show Breaking Bad? Well, no, I have never actually seen an episode of Breaking Bad, and I refuse to watch the show because I am terrified of the fact that I believe that show is based on people that I knew. In the 11th grade, Robbie, I learned how to cook meth from my high school chemistry teacher.
Is this
I wasn't
Breaking
actually,
Bad?
dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's fucking, I don't know what the fucking correlation is between, like, I've never seen an episode of Breaking Bad, but I've heard people talk about it, and I'm like, dude, I know, I'm like, that's an episode that you're talking about, an episode of a TV show that came out of my life. Like, and I don't know if it's just like I lived such a close lifetime, but so like, and then when I talk about things like that, I say things, like, my buddy Joey Busby, the day that I moved to Arizona, they dug my buddy Joey Busby up out of a fucking desert in New Mexico. He was shot a number of times and buried under 16 feet of sand. It took him 3 days and two backhoes to dig him up. He owed fucking some guys about $30,000, I want to say, for some meth. So I've lived I say shit like that to people, and I'm like, I expect other people to be able to relate to that experience. Most people don't know somebody that happened to. And that's not just one person that I know that it happened to. Like, in the neighborhood that I grew up in, I grew up with like 15 dudes. 3 of us are not in prison or dead right now. Um, I lived in one of the most violent neighborhoods in the United States. Um, Grew up in like one of the most violent cities in the United States. And people don't know it. People don't realize it, man, unless you've been to like some of these areas and done some of these things. But like, even in that city, there's people who are like, have this fairy tale type life. And so sometimes when I talk about the things that I grew up with and things that I've done, the things that I've seen, the things that I've been a part of, and people can't relate to that. And it blows my mind. And I have to stop and think like, oh, wow, like, not everybody was raised by strippers and wild wolves, man. Like, I have a pretty unique experience. My dad was a biker. He would, my dad was,
Do
my
you
dad was a
understand the
crazy
main
motherfucker.
highlight of all this though?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
well, here's the crazy highlight is the fact that what I think your whole life and the reason why it seems like you don't fit in a lot of scenarios is not only the experiences that you've had, but those happen to be experiences that have knocked you out of a system that
Mm-hmm.
is trying. So you're basically the gum in the system. You're the thing it's
Right.
trying to mold into, but it's kind of like going clear. It's like when you're involved in a religion, you don't know how bad the religion is until you're out of it and you realize how fucking horrible it was. The world is kind of like that. There's a system that runs. There's all these people they label conspiracy theorists. I don't think they're conspiracy theorists. Maybe some of them are kind of like crazy ones, definitely out there. Sometimes, like I hear my buddy rant about something, I'm like, hang on a fucking second. And you're one of
Sure.
them. Kelly, dinosaurs are real. I've talked to paleontologist people. Now, that's your belief. I'm not going to discern you from that, but that's where I cut the line at because you say some good shit. It's like Alex Jones. He says some good shit, and then he starts going, Hillary Clinton's a reptile. I'm like, God damn it.
Right.
Can we just roll it back a little bit? But
Well,
hang on. So the bigger point here is that you don't fit in the system anymore and you're refusing to go back in line to it. So the machine is trying to keep churning you into the figure it wants you to be, which is a lot of people in society. Like, I don't know how I got here. I think it's just by
Right.
coming across so many people like yourself that refuse to go back into the system and also refuse to try and pull anybody out of it. It's kind of like the Matrix. You sit there and slap one of these people and go, "You're in a fucking system. You're in a goddamn system." They just go, "What?" And then eventually you become so broken where you're like, I can't waste any more energy because I've done it so many times. I bet I could give the perfect example that in your life, you have probably came up to many people and literally on the verge of shaking them, telling them they're fucking trapped. And then at this point, you're like, fuck it. I know what I believe, and I'm not going to waste any more time trying to change people's mind that won't fucking change. And this is where we
Right.
have this confrontation because a lot of these people that like go into the system and they're stuck in there. And then they get finally, they sit there and ignore everyone that's involved in it. They finally get out and they're like, "Oh my God, I see what you were saying for so long. No shit. Welcome to this side of fucking reality." And then like, it's kind of like this thing where it's like, the system is set up to where if you do end up going clear, you do end up seeing it truly, then everyone else just has to cut off from you. And that's exactly what Scientology does. And I've started to talk to more Scientologists and also UFO people because it's kind of linked together a little bit. But
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Scientology thing, for instance, they don't want you to talk to anybody who's gone outside of it and fear that you might affect the group. And they tell you they only don't want you talking to those people because those people need to isolate themselves and think about what they did. It's a sign of their religion. And now you're messing up their path to coming back. It's a whole entire thing. And everything with Scientology just models off what the news does, just models off what the government does. I sit there and listen to someone explain Scientology to me, and she's been on before. And I was telling her, I was like, everything you're saying is exactly what our government has fucking done. It's like they're modeling old school, horrible human ethical rights acts. If you literally wrote all this down on a piece of paper of everything what you describe the government to be, then you look at what the government actually is, it's going to match up. But it would be like, holy shit, this does not look good on paper. No shit. But it's going by because it's happening. And we're not fucking waking up to the fact that it is happening. I don't think people are inherently bad. I just think it's a system that shows you the best way to get a success is by fucking somebody over. That's how we get a dog eat dog world.
Dude, what's amazing to me is there are 545 people who control the laws and the policies and the fucking everything that goes on in the fucking United States for 330 million other motherfuckers. Those 545 people's opinions are what controls 330 million people's lives, whether we agree with it or not. So we can be force fed any fucking thing that these 545 fucking people get. And how hard would it be to put together 500 of your friends? You know, if you knew 500 people, if you were some rich motherfucker, how hard it would be to put together 500 people who are like minded, or 250 or three, you know? But I mean, obviously they don't have fucking. Obviously, one side doesn't control the entire. I think it does. You know what? I think that there's one party that controls the entire fucking outcome. Okay, it's like it doesn't matter whether like the you
Get to
know
the
the red
Illuminati.
the
Get to the
red team.
Illuminati part.
We're going there. It doesn't matter whether the red team wins or the blue team wins because I own both of them. At some point, there's a fucking pinnacle of fucking power. You know what I mean? There's one guy who sits atop the fucking world. He is the richest man in the world. I don't know who the fuck he is. I don't know if it's Jeff Bezos, fucking Ted Turner, fucking Warren Buffett. If it's fucking, I don't know who. I know it's not Elon Musk. He lost a lot of fucking money recently.
So
But
is it with the AI thing, for instance, is it more probable that something is looking at these? It's very hard to control this unsustainable source, kind of like a dog that you eventually have to put down because it's too crazy. Like, everyone has that story of like that dog became too much, like too crazy. We had to put it down. Is that the people? And now this thing is looking for automation tech, like Andrew Yang, for instance. He ran for presidency, and now he's talking about creating a third party. but his whole entire giant thing was he doesn't want the automation industry to take over the world where people don't have a job anymore. And then
It's going to.
people are like, that's not going to fucking happen. Well, if you look at the world right now,
It's fucking going there.
And this is, I don't think this is a factor of like, it's just the people being lazy. I think this is a factor of like businesses finding a cheaper route to make money by hiring a machine and then just hiring one person to maintenance all those machines. And I look at this as like, this is a global scale thing of being able to fucking control a system by just seeing that, okay, we used humans for so long, but now our tech has literally advanced past that. Why is all our research money being funded into either space tech or it's being advanced into AI? Well, it's looking at a safer way of making your product production value go up by finding a thing that'll make the production easier for no money.
William Shatner says that there is no difference, but the only difference between science fiction and fiction, or I'm sorry, science fiction and science is the word fiction. And they can pretty much remove fiction from the science fiction genre because we're headed there, man. Everything that Gene Roddenberry ever imagined is coming to fruition. Fucking Captain Kirk had a flip phone and he would be like, oh, yo, beam me up, Scotty. And then he fucking Nokia in pocket. Fucking, he communicated with Wi-Fi to his starship. We communicate with Wi-Fi to our starships, to the fucking space station. Boom. 3D printing, dude. We have an entire fucking fleet of fucking, entire naval fleet in the South Pacific that fucking doesn't carry ammunition, doesn't carry food. They 3D print that shit as they need it. That's like the fucking, the machine. He's like, you know, like, give me some fucking turkey and gravy, mashed potatoes, 86 degrees, 98 degrees, whatever the fuck, da, da, da. You know what I mean? Bzz, 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 and it prints out your food. You can 3D print food today. That's fucking, dude, that's something that Gene Roddenberry imagined in Star Trek. And I don't think he imagined it. Maybe they were already working on it because, you know, as when I worked for the Air Force in a civilian contractor aspect, I was given some very specific jobs that I can't really discuss, but I can discuss the reason why I got the jobs. And that was because I worked on things that were classified above top secret, some projects. I never underwent a background check. I never received a security clearance.
I know you've mentioned this before.
Yeah, and it's because,
and I don't like that you're censoring yourself.
Plausible deniability. It was for the purpose of plausible deniability. Well, I have to be careful what I say about some of these projects because some of them are still classified.
But Charlie, I was high when I said that. That's your excuse.
Right. Well, I'm under oath to not reveal certain things that I know. But I can say that any kind of technology that we have in the civilian sector is at least 20 to 50 years, at least minimum. And sometimes in cases, 80 to 100 years behind what the fucking military sector is dealing with.
That's already been talked about before.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I know this. And I'm just making the point. I'm reiterating the point. The more times you hear it and from the more sources you hear it from, the more, people are like, oh, wait a minute. What? I heard that before. So, and that's the truth, man. And so like people talk about, people are so worried about this gun control bullshit. You know what, man? Gun control is just a fucking another issue to fucking get people squabbling and divide us. Okay. At the end of the day, the military now has the capability of using Star Wars type fucking directed energy weaponry. They have smart bullets. They have fucking things like technology we will never possess. In the last 100 years, the civilian ability to fucking defend themselves has not progressed past bullets. You think that the military hasn't progressed past bullets? You think that at some point, if they decide to fucking release NATO troops on the fucking American population, which by the way, we just gave the world's largest naval fucking base to fucking NATO as their new headquarters recently here in fucking like Virginia. But you think for 1 minute that if they decide to fucking have NATO troops, put us in lockdown here, American civilians, that our fucking bullet weapons are going to do anything against them? These guys fucking have robotic technology, man. They fucking have they send in a robot to kick your ass, bro. They're not going to they don't give a fuck. And that robot is very likely armored and bulletproof. So good. I mean, it's Terminator shit is already here, bro. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna send in a remote control robot though. He's probably not gonna be like fucking, you know what I mean? Well, maybe. I don't know if you've seen the fucking, if you watch Boston Dynamics, you know about their Atlas robot. That thing is a fucking beast. Fight that. Fight that with your fucking stupid bullet. They have us so outgunned and outclassed, dude. They don't give a shit about us and our fucking guns. Like our guns are fucking. If you've ever watched a fucking sci-fi movie where fucking people are destroyed by fucking robots and fucking armored fucking soldiers, that shit's real. That shit is real. That shit is being tested in other countries. That shit is about to be it's being tested here through police departments and shit. You know what I mean? Like fucking that shit's not bullshit, man. Like all you have to do is be able to fucking put two and two together and realize that no matter how much you fight against what the fuck you don't want to happen, this shit is going to happen. There are people out there who control the world, who control the country, a small amount of elite corporate executives and fucking rich people who want certain things. Elon Musk wants robots in your house. Elon Musk wants AI. If you go back and look at all the things he said about AI, like I said earlier, in the last fucking 2, 3, 5 years or whatever, 10 years, it's all bad. Everything he's ever said about AI is, we shouldn't be developing AI. And now he's like, I'm at the forefront of it. I'm going to be the first one to do it because if it's the worst thing in the world, I'm going to control it. Well, you're not going to control it. You're just going to be the guy who introduces it and somebody else is going to take the shit and then we're fucked.
Yeah, I look at him as more like a person that's just trying to be like the number one of everything when it comes to tech and all that. And I don't think he's seeing that he's doing everything that's going to end up, he's going to end up like something's going to happen to him or he's going to lose his company or something. And it's going to get put in the wrong hands. And that's when we're going to start to see a lot of hell.
So what, 100 years ago, the FCC came in and fucking took over fucking Tesla's experiments, right? The doomsday rays and fucking blah blah blah, all this bullshit, man, because of free energy. He's gonna make lightning strike in specific areas. And then they go, oh, this is a fucking doomsday machine. It's not a fucking doomsday machine. This was free energy for everybody in the fucking world, man. And the FCC came in and shut him down and fucking was like, oh, nope, we're going to take your technology and we're going to use it. And then we're going to make a bunch of fucking money off of it. And it doesn't matter how evil it becomes or how fucked up the situation is or any of this shit, man. We're going to use it for our purposes.
The main thing I want to highlight is that the government isn't out there to kill everybody, which is what a lot of people are going to end up taking away from what we've just said so far. I
beg to differ.
I don't think they're doing that. What I think is that they're going to just make your life fucking hell to where you can't do anything and you're not happy because they're not going to be really worried about your money when they start finding ways to be able to manipulate certain things around them. And I think their biggest fear as America, as a country, much like every other country's fear, is another attack from another country. Everyone laughs at North Korea for their missiles not being able to reach a certain point. I say
they will get there.
Yeah, I said don't take that as a joke. That's how we neglect something like a little bunk knee or something like that. The next thing you know, you have to get knee surgery. Like something eventually the piper comes due. And I think with a lot of this stuff where maybe they can just make us all get locked down. Maybe we can try and do a trash strike and we have to go without power for a long time, Wi-Fi for a long time. Hopefully we're not so addicted to the thing that has been so beneficial into our lives and now it's become reliant that when it does get taken away, we just don't fold. Maybe that's their technique. What happens when Instagram goes down? Instagram went down. People were checking other social media sites to see if it was down. That's where they went. So I look at like how reliant has this become a part of our lives and how much withdrawal do we have to go through? And so we're willing to fold over. So now if a corporation doesn't even need to have you locked down into your house or have you riot, they can just pull the power on a bunch of different shit. The next thing you know, what happens? You're right there sucking the tit again, asking for help because now they've taken everything that you adore and everything that passes your time away. Instead of going outside or doing things like that, they've gotten used to you staying inside and being reliant on the devices that they control. Now, I don't think they're going to kill us. I just think it's going to be a major power grab type scenario because the people that they can get money from, like for instance, what's his name? The guy from the governor of California. What's his fucking name?
Newsom.
It's either Newsom.
Gavin Newsom.
I think it's Newsom, but he was the one that owned, like he was gifted a fucking $50-something million mansion. And then on top of that, if you look at everything in his house, he has the original skeleton for Pinocchio, the original creation, like the Pinocchio thing, the base skeleton to that. And you just walking through his house, he's got like $4 or $5 million paintings, all from a legal loophole. All right, they're not going to give him money, but they're going to give him objects. Same thing with Biden. Biden was taking money from Russia, the anonymous buyers from Russia that were funding him money. Next thing you know, he starts painting and then selling the paintings for the exact same cost as the money was that they got caught with selling to Russia.
So our governor right now is being investigated by the IRS, I guess, and the FBI and some fucking places because you've seen many states are beginning to issue stimulus checks. Well, Arizona is not one of them. And the reason why Arizona is not one of them is because he took $436 million of our fucking COVID relief fund and gave an energy and gas company a $436 million tax rebate with money that was intended to fucking go to the people of Arizona.
Why is every politician that's being covered on the news right now people that are against
I bet he got a kickback off of that.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you damn right they are. Dude, there's a power play. Like I said, there's 545 people who control this shit, man, and they're all like, they're basically, the majority of them seem to be geared towards the same mindset.
If you won't accept the deal, then we have to scare you into submission. And that's exactly what's being at play. And that's the exact same thing Scientology uses. Scientology is the clearest example.
That's what all these things do.
But that's
this shit is the same fucking play.
What sucks is that people say this is just crazy talk, but it's like, it might be coming off in the way that we're saying it kind of crazy. But if you just do your own research into it, I tell people just look into some things. There are so many accounts of things that are just unexplainable. Why was there all these different trips on Epstein's whatever airplane? He was friends with scientists and he was friends with actors. There's Chris Tucker, Danny Glover, it's Danny Glover. There's a bunch of fucking people that flew on these planes multiple fucking
times.
Will
Smith, fucking all these motherfuckers.
Now they probably all weren't involved in the child thing, but it's a group. You're being involved with people like, hey, maybe if I go on this plane ride, I know Chris Tucker knows this guy. Maybe I can eventually get a movie deal with Chris Tucker. It's just getting ahead by using names. It's the same thing podcasters do to get famous people on their show, hoping that they can suck off some of their fucking followers or some people that admire that person. But then they realize when you build content, they're following you for you. And sometimes they're following you for the people that are on there, that are people that you're giving a platform to. But they stay and follow you, and they don't unfollow you because they like your content. They like who you are. They adapt to your personality or your mindset. And that's like what we see in the world, for instance. People, like I said, that try and get famous people on their shows. I could reach out and just get famous guests for my shows, but those followers might follow me, but they'll unfollow me because I'm not exactly like the person that I had on the show who they follow originally.
Right. Or they followed you to watch that episode and then unfollowed you.
Yeah.
You know, because, he doesn't have Joe Rogan on his show 3 times a week. So what the fuck do I care?
I wish I could get him on once.
Dude, I would fucking, if you ever get Joe Rogan on the show, please let me come on and I just want to sit here. I won't say anything.
And you said the same. You said the same thing. If I would talk to Joe Rogan, but I don't think I'd ever want him on my show because I'd be too nervous to fucking. It's like the people that are famous. They talk about like meeting the famous people that were famous when they were kids before they became famous. Right. They go, it's like being a child again. It's like you can't get over that fucking fame thing.
There are very few. Okay, so I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know if we've ever discussed this, but I work personal security for some famous people. For a while. And I'm not a starstruck individual. Like I've met like 2 people that I was really ever impressed with. One of them was Tom Petty. And I was super impressed with him because he was the most down-to-earth human being I ever met that held that status of superstar. And he was like a real person. And that's what impressed me. And the other one was Pink. And I had a run-in with her one night while I was setting up stage at a show in Albuquerque, and me and her just had a quick interaction backstage for a few minutes, and she was just like the most down, like just like one of the most down-to-earth people. Sarah Mclaughlin's another one who's like that. She's like, she goes home after her she goes home after her concerts and spends time with her kids and husband. She doesn't go out partying.
No,
She's not like
goes in her free time and she makes horrible ass SPCA commercials that make me want to fucking kill myself.
SPCA.
She does the SPCA commercials where she sits in front of the thing and goes, "Hi, any of these dogs that are about to be killed off screen once this commercial's over, would you like to adopt one of them? And if you don't, I'm more than happy eating their livers right out of their bodies. And I'm like, you piece of shit.
Wow. No, I hadn't seen that commercial. I'll have to look that one up. There was a
I might have inserted a couple of words. She does do those horrible SPCA commercials. Everyone's seen them. It's in the arms of an angel.
Dude, was it me and you? Was that our last podcast? See, I got like one of these stoner moments where I heard from somewhere that fucking Sandra Bullock was smearing.
I fucking played that on our episode.
Yeah, I thought so, dude. I thought that was.
You're like the 5th person I've had back on that has been like, oh yeah, there's this thing. And I was like, I fucking told you that.
No, I thought so. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to clarify that because I was having a stoner moment there.
I'm glad the message is getting out though. Like, hopefully you guys look it up in your free time and you don't just think I'm like misinforming everybody.
Dude, you know, there's just I like to tell everybody whenever I do my guest lectures, I like to tell the kids, hey, you know what? I start off with like, my name is Kelly Diffie, and you know, I'm a fucking professional liar. Everything that I say is an absolute lie. I want you to believe that.
You've told me this so many times.
And well, I want the people out there to understand this too, because it fits right in with what you're saying. Me and Robbie are lying to you guys, man. What we're doing right now is trying to convince you of something that's not real. So I'd really like you guys to go out and look the shit up.
No,
everything that Robbie real. And I talk about, fucking look it up, please.
You don't want to know why?
And tell us how fucking full of shit we are.
You want to know why our fucking kids are so fucked up? It's because the people that are teaching our kids are fucked up. There was that social justice warrior, the professor of whatever ethics or whatever, was caught lighting fires in California, trying to light the fires around the firemen that were fighting the fires. He was trying to trap them inside. They found him in a black Kia Soul, and they were able to track him from that. Like, it's a guy that was a professor at a school teaching kids about like social justice and all this shit. I'm like, this is why these fucking people, it's like the conspiracy theorists. They dive down the rabbit hole and you can't fucking pull them out. That's the same thing with these social justice people. If you literally research and spend your whole life looking at one side of something, you're going to be literally indoctrinated into it. This is why all these kids think the world is going to fucking die tomorrow. You know, climate change, for instance, here's an Alex Jones conspiracy, and he's been right about so much shit.
Right. I think Alex Jones is a CIA plant, honestly.
No, I think he's gotten so much information, but it's kind of like 9/11. We were told since 93 that people were going to hijack airplanes and get thrown into one of our like trade towers or something like that, one of our giant monuments. And we kind of just didn't believe it. And then it fucking happened. So Alex Jones probably been told a bunch of shit by a bunch of people. And then he's just like, it's all slowly starting to come up one by one. But he mentioned this recently, and this was trending. One of Trump's administration people were in cahoots with China's one of his leaders. Alex Jones said that a year ago. He said that Trump has people that talk to the president of China, Xi Jinping, whatever his name is, and has these cahoots things going on. And it came out. Another thing he said is that with the climate change thing, how the climate is a natural disaster and we need to act now. Well, actually, if you look up, like with climate, for instance, the Earth actually has more plant life than it's ever had, surprisingly. So you wonder, what is it? Oh, more carbon dioxide is being put into our atmosphere. Well, did you know carbon dioxide is actually good for plants? And then you start looking at like, wait a minute, if it's good for plants, that means more plant growth, right? Yep. And what are they doing? They're taxing carbon. Do you know what people are made up of?
Carbon.
Yeah. So how long until they're able to put a tax on you or do some limitations on you?
Oh, it's coming, dude. So, you know, I got all these buddies who are like, oh, Constitution. The Constitution says this, the Constitution says that, and I believe what the Constitution says. But you know what? The Constitution is a man-made written document that can be fucking tossed out the fucking window at any fucking time. That can be overturned. You know what I mean?
A good explanation of the Bill of Rights is the Bill of Rights isn't a thing of things that are granted to you. There are things that the government can't take away from you.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So that's important.
You know, but it's just written. I mean, it's just a written document.
Well, dude, like, what about the lab?
They wrote
shit?
It. That means
bro, I'm not going to mention a whole bunch of stuff on the lab, but with the lab thing that we talked about before, how many of those scientists have now come out having ties with China? All the people that said it didn't come from there. Oh, where are the people retweeting those articles that said we were conspiracy theorists? So what about that shit?
Okay, so conspiracy theorists, man, I gotta address this because I've been meaning to say this a couple of times, man. Jesse Ventura, okay, I love Jesse Ventura. Okay, I think he's a fucking awesome dude. And
can you say this with like when you're sitting back down? Because like the way you look right now looks like a guy that just came out of his basement after spending 50 years being down in it, eating cans of beans and cat food.
Mm, I feel like I wish I had a basement because I'd go down there and eat beans and cat food for the next 50 years.
Probably a good
But
life.
so I recently watched this little video, this blurb. My buddy Chris sent it to me, and it's an interview that Jesse Ventura is doing with this doctor. And she's like, I'm leaving the country. I'm getting on this jet airplane like as soon as I'm finished with this interview because I think the CIA is going to kill me for talking about this. She's all, and she's got some sort of credentials. I don't know who the fuck she is. I can't remember who she was off the top of my head. But she's like, since 1974, the World Health Organization has had plans to decrease the world population by 90%. And apparently this episode of his show was deleted, and they make claims. This is an Alex Jones. This is from Alex Jones, man. This was actually Alex Jones, Infowars or some shit, like airing this little blurb. This was like a little, cut scene or whatever from it. But so, and they make the claim, Infowars is making the claim that the government went so far as to go into people's DVRs and delete this episode off of their personal fucking recordings. And so she makes a statement. The World Health Organization has basically been planning to decrease the world population by 90% since 1974. And that's her mission, is to make that statement. Going back to what you said earlier about, is the government out to kill us? Well, look at USDA and FDA standards for human food as compared to, say, things like dog and cat food. Dog and cat food standards are way more stringent than food standards for us. That's why, they allow us to eat shit like fucking McDonald's.
Well, I had to look this one up, but there's a person I've mentioned once before, but his name is William E. Colby, and I don't know if you know who this guy was, but he was a person that was a professional spy, like way back in the day in like 1972 to like 1976. He actually exposed a lot of like the CIA corruption, like a lot of stuff that was going on with kids, a lot of stuff that like a secret planned assassinations of giant like figures at the time. He was 70, I think it says right here, the article, he was 76 when he died, and there are contradictions that followed him to the end. He was an avid outdoorsman, but he died apparently by drowning while canoeing on a familiar river. So they found his body washed up on a little marsh part. But the weird part about it was in his house, the doors were not locked. So if you're leaving your house, apparently he left the house in the middle of the night and decided to go kayaking at like 10 p.m. He left his dinner on the table. He left a bunch of shit that's like, that doesn't seem fucking quite right. But he literally, like, a giant conspiracy behind it is that he was killed by like some government stuff. His giant thing was, before he ended up leaving the CIA, was that he was trying to do giant military budget cuts by over 50% and invest the money into schools and healthcare and our economy. It says right here, the Cold War is over and the military threat is now far less. He said in 1992 ad, it's time to cut our military budget by 50% and to invest that money into our schools, our healthcare, and our economy. Colby was dismissed as a CIA director 20 years ago after 3.5 years by President Ford. Since then, he had promoted a nuclear freeze and big budget cuts into the military budget. They identified his body after he called his wife, who was gone for the weekend, saying, "Hey, love you. Hope you're doing okay." She even said, "This is weird. Who goes kayaking in the middle of the fucking night while your dinner's fucking on the table, not really even eaten? Your doors are unlocked," which is just random and fucking not normal for a regular person who's not even involved in the CIA to fucking do. And everyone
Right.
goes, well, he was 76. He could have forgot. Nobody forgets. That's like an instinct. That's like checking your phone in the fucking morning for anybody out there listening that is used to checking their phone as soon as they fucking wake up. You always know to lock your fucking doors. Even when you're inside your house, you lock your fucking doors when you know you're not going back out. They found his body washed up on a kayak. Neighbors had called saying it was suspicious. A lot of things that were going on were suspicious because he usually has a check through that he's done every single day that they've known him living in that neighborhood. And I'm like, look, man, there's plenty of accounts of people getting shot twice in the back of the head, ruling it out as a suicide. You're telling
Yeah.
me that this guy wasn't killed by the CIA for the things that he was promoting? He was a person that exposed the CIA and all the corruption that happened behind it. And that's why there's major checks that are supposed to be in balance for the CIA. I'm just
Right.
saying, like, if this stuff is conspiracy theories, then I'm like, when do we start looking at like this is like you can This is when we talk about first eyewitness experiences, for instance.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of times people tell you a dream, for instance. If I tell you my dream in excruciating detail of dreams that I remember, I can make that up, sure. But the way I'm saying it, how convinced I am that it was like this intense giant thing, it had to actually happen to me if it was just me. It might be something I made up, but it was something that I did fucking experience. I see you trying to hide whoever out of the fucking camera.
Yeah, the girls are starting to wake up.
But what I'm saying is that when it's a story like that and people go, that just sounds like a conspiracy, it's so much to a T on dates and a bunch of things that line up. When do we say it's a conspiracy? I can sit there and tell you Bill Gates had a project to launch a missile into our atmosphere to dissipate particles that dim the sun. Now, if I would have told you, they say that sounds like fucking bullshit. Like I've said it to people, they said that sounds crazy. Then I read them the article of what he actually tried to do, where he's known saying, "Yes, I did try and do this." I'm
Yep.
just saying, when do we start questioning of like how much of it is a conspiracy, or can we just not label it that and we just fucking wait instead of all this divisiveness of someone has to be wrong and you have to be right and there's no possible way that could happen? Why don't we say there's no definitive answers in anything and just expect that it could be a possibility that that could be a chance of that actually happening?
You know, these guys have crazy ass ideas, crazy ass theories, man. Most of these guys are into the occult in some way, form, or fashion. If you start searching and researching them and looking into who they hang out with and what they do, they have these weird ass, you know, Project Paperclip, dude. World War II, we brought
Operation
over
Paperclip.
what's that? Operation
Operation
Paper. Yeah,
Paperclip.
you're right. I'm sorry. Thank you. Excuse me. We brought over 200 Nazi scientists and fucking gave them new identities and new, or sometimes not even new identities, but new histories, new past. Uh, Forgave them for their war crimes or whatever, and then gave them like positions of power in where they developed things like NASA and they developed things like the CDC
The main
and they
leader of the NASA was Werner von Braun, who was known for hanging the five slowest Jews every week for to increase production into his
yeah,
research and everything like that for the space program.
absolutely. You know, he was involved with the construction of the Bell, which, by the way, the Gemini space capsule looks almost just like the Bell. Um, which the Bell is, you know, may or may not have been a thing, allegedly, you know, whatever. Um, interesting thing though, interesting idea. But you know, they like all these scientists were given like the power to create all these government intergovernment agencies, and so these guys were all Nazis, man.
Yeah,
And they like Nazi isn't a political affiliation; it's a religious affiliation. If you research it, um, Hitler was into the Black Sun, man. He believed in like Saturn was like, you know, the father planet of the Earth and Mars and Venus,
he was
and which
also
is
given drugs in a lot of his speeches.
absolutely. Um, he was no, yeah, they were all fucked up on amphetamines and shit like that, man, and fucking Um, but yeah, these guys were like all into like this weird occult shit, and you think that that didn't carry over here? Like that those like they just suddenly like gave up those beliefs. And what I think is going on is like the United States has this thing where it's like we're not saying that you can't do this. We're not saying you can't perform these atrocious experiments and do all this horrible shit. You just can't do it for yourself.
Is
You need
it
to come do it for us.
is it possible that eugenics isn't maybe changing our physical appearance anymore? Maybe now it's just getting everybody on the same hive mind.
Sure, absolutely. You know, what the fuck does it matter what we look like as long as we all fucking think the same, as long as we all act the same, as long as we all fucking fall into line and fucking do what we're supposed to do. And there, you know, like, I don't know. There's a there's an interesting video in the world, man, and a lot of people talk about, well, this is a hoax, this is a fake video, this is bullshit, but it's called the Illuminati training video. And if it is a hoax, dude, it's one of the world, in my opinion, it's one of the most well-produced hoaxes on the planet. If you've never seen it, look it up. If it's even still available on YouTube. I've noticed in recent months that a lot of videos that I used to watch off of YouTube have disappeared. They're starting to really like censor information and remove information from the internet that they don't want people to look at. One of them is like the origins of fluoride. There was an interesting video that talked about how when we decided to fluoridate the water, the way that that came about was that these plants in the Midwest, someplace, that were producing fluoride as a byproduct, they had these scrubbers in these like exhaust tubes or whatever that weren't quite doing the job, and so all the farmland and the animals around there were starting to die off. So they started diluting it in water and found that it wasn't lethal and toxic if you diluted it. And if you like research like fluoride poisoning and shit, man, and look at it, they tell us like we should be brushing our teeth with fluoridated toothpaste because it helps our teeth. But if you look at fluoride overdose cases, there's pitting in people's teeth, pitting in people's bones. Fluoride's a really nasty substance, man, and it's not something that we should be really consuming. And there's a reason, like like we talked about a while ago about the MK Ultra connection with fluoride, and there's a reason why we're supposed to drink 8-ounce glasses of fluoridated water a day, and then brush our teeth with 3 times a day with fluoridated toothpaste. And that's because you got to get like a minimum dosage of this fluoride in your system in order to be susceptible to what is called television and radio programming. There's a
Your
reason it's
energy
called
level
programming.
dropped.
Oh, dude, it's not my energy level. It's my concern. It's my,
It's got me tired.
I'm thinking about it because I want to make sure that I'm saying the stuff that I'm saying, what I'm saying is right. You know what I mean? And I'm really concentrating on this. And this is how deep like the subject is to me. I'm very deep in thought right now. Because it concerns me, and it concerns me that people don't believe this shit or don't know this shit or are too stupid to go out and do the research or too lazy to go out and do the research or whatever and find out that what I'm saying is true about this. Excuse me. But the reason that the reason it's called television radio programming is because it programs you. They put beliefs and ideas into your head and thought stream through frequency, sound, and vibration. If you don't believe this, all you got to do is realize the fact that over the last several thousand years, tens of thousands of years, since we learned how to play a drum, drums have been used in, like, music has been used in inciting war and violence, sexual rituals, pretty much any kind of ritual that you can perform, or holiday or celebration or event that's going to take place involves some sort of music. Marching bands, like I said, war drums, like they would
before.
Yeah, and it's true. I have to reiterate this shit, man. You know what I mean?
Morale boosters.
It changes how we feel. It changes how we do things. It changes our mindset. Not just morale boosters, but it can be used to degrade your morale. It can, like if you listen to a sad song, you get a little, oh man, it affects your mood. Music affects moods, and they do it in commercials, they do it in advertising a lot. Specific colors are used, numbers, specific patterns, specific shapes, specific names and words, catchphrases, specific songs in the background. Like you'll hear like these truck and car commercials are famous for it, man, using like the national anthem or something patriotic or whatever to inspire fucking national pride behind your Chevy or your Ford or whatever, and go out because that's what Americans do. And you know what I mean? And this fucking truck commercial will have nothing to do with fucking America or anything, whatever. It's probably filmed in fucking Sweden.
I think
it's got their national anthem playing in the background.
I think it's the fluoride that is making me think that what happens if I kind of started smiling because I was wondering if that door that's right behind you, if it just opened up and someone came in with a gun. I was like, it would be great content for the show. But like with advertising, for instance, why is it that some countries won't allow certain advertisements in their country? Like a lot of advertisements, like we're the only country I'm pretty sure that advertises like certain types of medicines and things of that sort all over our TVs.
Sure, absolutely. And that's, American marketing is crazy, dude. It's really geared towards controlling the consumer population. And a lot of countries are not on board with that, man. Like they're just like, they realize, like there are laws in countries that prevent certain types of, like you
If you
said, certain
need to,
types of commercials being aired.
if you need to take me back outside to start ranting some more because I know your family's up, that's okay. I'm okay
Okay,
with it.
let's do that. All right. I didn't want to.
Because your energy level is like making me feel like I need to take a nap.
Well, let's improve on that.
Tell them I said hi.
Hi, Robbie says. No, you're good. The girls say hi. They're like, sorry for making noise. I'm like, no, you're good.
They were very respectful. Mostly, like for instance, when I'm trying to record, people are like vacuuming and throwing dishes around. I'm like, you haven't done dishes all goddamn week. What the fuck? The fuck is this shit?
They're used to. I do a lot of like IGTV stuff, and so they're used to like trying to like just let me have my space and time so I
It's
can
called
record it.
respect.
Yeah, it is. Um, yeah, they're good people. I love the girls here.
You're good people.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
love talking about the political elites and the governmental corruptions of the minds of the youth.
Dude, our educators are so fucking dumb. You were talking about that a while ago, and I was thinking about to myself about this educator who recently tried to replace the American flag for the pledge with the pride flag. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, seriously?
And I think these ideas and these things will eventually ending up and happening and stuff like that. I mean, we have things where people can identify as, what is it? It's bunnies or bun gender, which means you can identify as a bunny. And I'm not saying that's not like people can do that, sure, but like it's just making it very, very difficult where the world's like science, for instance. And I've talked about it before. I'll have to send you the episode, but I talked about the conceptual penis study, which is like
Mm-hmm.
a fake. I think me and you talked about it. I talked about how like the guy would measure dogs humping in a park to see the ratio between male dogs humping male dogs and male dogs humping female dogs. To initially, the study was supposed to say if all male dogs are inherently gay because there were more male dogs humping male dogs. Remember I told you about that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, the guy made another study called this conceptual penis study, which talks about like if you sit with your legs wide open and you're a guy, you're akin to raping the air around you. And eventually, that having a dick is actually a social construct that actually leads to climate change. So if you have a penis, you're causing climate change. So it was a fake study, but he just inserted a bunch of large words in there. His name's Peter Boyle. And this school peer reviewed it and passed the journal. And it was a published article for people to be able to look at. It was a published peer reviewed journal. And that was just because they use basic functions that now society, if you try and go against society, you'll see an uproar. And the easiest thing is society never has an uproar with our government. Society has an uproar with certain functions and certain activities and certain protests and
Policies.
certain people. They don't have functions or they don't have a giant upbringing when it comes to giant government structuralized systems. And those
Mm.
structuralized systems are the things that we need to be looking at, the things that are inherently causing all of this damage. It's like finding a leak in your house, and instead of fixing the problem, you just throw a bucket over it. Be like, well, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
capture all the water so it doesn't land on my floor. Yeah, but then you're going to have to keep changing the fucking bucket. Why don't you fix the fucking hole?
Right? Fix the problem, not fucking address the symptom. It's fucking. I don't know, man. Like I see, are the social constructs being established by the government right now through policies and shit are mind blowing, dude. They're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? And you're talking about like the shit, like the bun ID. Dude, to me, that's akin to bestiality. The next thing on the fucking list is like, you already got guys out there, people out there who are like,
Want to be
well,
vampires.
people who want to be pedophiles, who are like, pedophilia isn't a fucking crime; it's a sexual orientation. I just happen to be
There
a
is
trash
that.
bag
I've
of
read
shit.
that. That's
Like,
scary.
well, yeah, dude, that's fucking bullshit. Fuck that. And now, so what's really scary to me is in 2019 and 2020, we issued fucking stimulus checks to adults, and everybody who was over 16 was considered an adult suddenly for the stimulus check. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's a weird play because that fucking sets a precedent now. That sets a precedent to decrease the minimum age of consent from 18 to 16. And in some places, in some states, it's already as low as like 14.
Is it possible that some of those people that were at Epstein's events heard a
Oh,
girl's age and started checking their phone to see what age is consent in the lowest state possible?
right. Well, in Texas, I know it's 14 because David Koresh was fucking assaulted violently by the FBI, fucking HRT, over fucking his marriage to a 14-year-old girl, which was absolutely legal. So that was one of the things that they used to try and like justify the siege on Waco. And that was like, as it turns out, well, her parents had given consent for her to marry, and in the state of Texas, that's all it takes.
It baffles me. It baffles me the surprise in a lot of people, and they go, "Oh my God, this is real." It's like, like people say that about the church. Oh my God, the church is doing that. That's insane. It's like, I mean, there was a stereotype about it for 100 years. It had to come from somewhere, right? And then like Richard Nixon, they checked the lost tapes of Richard Nixon, all the recordings that he had. He talked about Bohemian Grove, saying it was, and it's a word you can't say. It's a term for a cigarette in the UK. You can't say that word now, but he said it was that the thing
You
he's
can't, but I
seen.
can I say it?
I don't care. I'm not the one
Fag.
saying it. He would say that it's that word thing that he's ever seen. And he was talking about Bohemian Grove, and that was known, and that was when Nixon was in office. And then now we're finding out about Bohemian Grove, and people are still denying it today, and people don't even know about it today. You know how they do it? Is they silence the people that don't fit their narrative. If you're a conspiracy person, people go, well, why haven't they killed Alex Jones if they're so willing to kill people? Because you already have labeled him and basically made him the hardest thing to find on the internet sometimes, only clips of him on other people's shows. You've labeled him a conspiracy theorist where you even mention the name, people's eyes fucking roll. That's even worse than death.
Right.
They did the same thing to Bob Lazar and the alien shit. And that's been known.
And that's been proven like a fucking 1,000 times, man. Like fucking, they even found documents of fucking Los Alamos where his name is listed in the phone registry after they tried to erase him and missed the spot. You know what I mean? Fucking, these guys out here are telling the truth, man, about stuff. And fucking, I think the United States government is starting to embrace it. That's why you got like these guys like this, the fucking ex-DOD guy who just released all the videos. He's part of the Tom DeLonge fucking joke show. The Academy of the Stars or whatever bullshit they got going on where they released the fucking
Primetime.
What's that?
Cuomo had a show called Cuomo Prime.
Oh, yeah, they fucked that guy up too, didn't they? But yeah, they didn't have to fucking suicide him. No Clinton suicides there because they fucking ruined his fucking name. But no, this guy, fuck, what is his? I can't even think of his fucking name now off the top of my head. But they just did, just the discrediting the fucking of these people is just as bad as the suicide. You know what I mean? But they're starting to embrace it. It's like, what the fuck? Alexander, whatever. They released 3 videos of the fucking UFOs in 2017 or some shit from the DOD. And so like the government is starting to kind of like, I think they're starting to feel like if we can't silence them all, we might as well just embrace the fucking situation at this point.
Or is it possible that they say maybe they don't understand what this is and we don't really understand it either, so we might as let these people go to a new thing and invest all their energy in a rabbit hole?
I think they've got it. I think they do know what it is. I think they do have it figured out. You guys like Phil Schneider, man. I don't know if you're familiar with.
Well, if it is a natural phenomenon from like a lot of what they're talking about, a lot of scientists have looked into, then maybe it's easier to make people think that it's aliens, so then everyone goes down a fucking rabbit hole.
Well, there's debate about the whole like Project Bluebeam, fucking false flag alien invasion that's on its way. Is the alien invasion going to be a real alien invasion? Are they coming from outer space? Are they already here? Have they already been here? Are there races that predate the fucking species of the planet here that came from other places? There's, I believe that there was an intergalactic war probably 750 million years ago. We see evidence of the asteroid belt being a collisional family. We see evidence of the Kuiper belt being a collisional family. We see evidence in the Oort cloud of it being a collisional family. And what I believe is that there were probably beings that waged some sort of war, destroyed a couple of planets here. At some point, another race came in and probably imprisoned them here on the Earth. Or maybe like this was a refugee type escape planet or whatever. But these races wound up here and they predate. I don't know how many there are. You got guys who talk about, there are 4 alien races or 7 or 42 or whatever the fuck there are. But and maybe some of those dudes are still out there in outer space doing their thing or whatever. Some of them have probably come here. Some of them were probably sent here, or like I said, came here as refugees and then developed the human race at some point. That's where all these creation stories, I think, come from like, in the Christian religion, the Bible says, finally, we have created man in our image. And that, a lot of misinterpretation comes with that. It's like, so finally, I have created man in my image, says God, but it's actually, the word is supposed to be we. That it was translated from the ancient Greek or Hebrew. It means we, and so there's other discussions about like creation stories. Most religions, most ancient beliefs believe that we were created, that we were not just, that we didn't evolve. Evolution is a thing that's only come about in the last 100 years. And even Charles Darwin, the alleged father of evolution, made claims that he didn't necessarily believe in his own statements, because evolution doesn't make jumps, for instance. So we have like the missing link skeletons between primates and humans and blah, blah, whatever. And I'm sure someday they'll come up with some sort of fake evidence for that shit, man. Mummies and skeletons are fucking faked all over the world all the time. There are Peruvian fucking fake alien skeletons and different shit like that are going on and trying to be passed off. And so, I don't know what the fucking end game is for all of this shit, man. I don't know like what the big, or what the end game is for a false flag alien invasion, or if it's tied
There's
to some
another
shit.
one for you. Endgame. What's Endgame produced by? Marvel. Who owns Marvel? Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yep, dude. All this shit is predictive programming. Everything that we're watching on television is nothing but movies and shit. It's all predictive programming. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, if you've ever watched a science fiction movie, and if you don't think that shit's coming to fruition, this shit is coming here. They got flying taxis that fucking NASA is testing right now. They're fucking working on a cyberpunk world, like you said. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be integration of microchips into organic material. It's the only way. We're approaching what's called the end of technological advancement. There's a thing called Moore's law, and basically that states that copper and gold and silver and platinum can only conduct electricity if you stretch it so thin, make it so small. So the smaller you make all these superconductors or whatever, all these fucking like electrical components and shit like that, the closer we're coming to them not being able to conduct an electrical current. And at some point, we're going to reach what's called tech stagnation. And when we reach tech stagnation, we see an economic collapse worldwide. It stopped because what do we spend our money on as consumers? We spend it on technological advancements. We buy the newest phones, the newest watches, the newest, cameras, and the newest Google Glass, and all these new things that are coming out, and all these micro computing things, so at some point we reach a stagnation. And so the only way to really improve that is to integrate this microchip technology into biological technology. So we're going to start seeing these hybrid human beings. I mean, we're already kind of seeing that. Elon Musk is working on this fucking brain implant bullshit, and fucking they're working on like cybernetic, like prosthetics and shit, you know what I mean? Where people can move their like robotic hands and do shit like that, man. That is where we're headed. I joke about it a lot because I always have my phone in my left hand, it seems like. And I always talk about, I'm going to be the first person with a fucking Gen 1 hand replacement. I want to get a fucking smartphone, tablet or something in place of my left hand, because I don't use my left hand to do anything manual. I use my right hand for everything else. And the most convenient and most logical thing is to have my phone to bring my hand up. You know what I mean? And there's my phone.
I didn't know if
my
you were
hand.
referencing the left hand thing. What happened to do with there's other things you can do with your left hand.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
That's why I thought you were bringing the camera down and showing your.
But no, it's just there's so much. We're headed in that direction. You know what I mean? We're going to fucking see robots in our house. We're gonna have AI. There are little robots here in my town that deliver food. They're called starships.
Oh, God.
And they fucking dude, we were the first city in the fucking world to experiment with these little things, man. They fucking deliver food on our campuses and shit. And fucking they come in little armies. There's times when I see more robots at the street corner waiting to cross the street than I do fucking people. And I'm just like, wow, like this is, I didn't like it at first, and I don't like it now.
It's a good end.
It is. It's fucking
the end of the world.
it's coming, man. It's coming in a strange way, in ways that we're not going to expect it. They're going to do things to us. They're going to change us in ways that fucking, already we have fucking like those tattoos. I don't know if you've seen the tattoos, the fucking,
Yeah.
the electronic tattoos and shit, man. Like it's coming, bro. Some of them are glow in the dark, man. That's cyberpunk shit, dude. I've been playing cyberpunk since I was like 13 years old, as an RPG and a book, man. Cyberpunk 2077. And I always, like, when I was a kid, I was always like, man, I can't wait for this shit to happen. And now that it's happening in my lifetime, I'm like, this is the most scary shit that's ever happened.
Kelly, we've been talking for almost, we've been talking for 2 hours now, almost 2 hours. Where can people find your links? I still got to edit, because I got to edit out every cough you've ever had, which is going to take me ages. We need to give you like a lozenge before a podcast, so you could just.
It was the weed that fucked me up earlier, man. It got me all on my throat. I was just like, I just woke up whenever I got on the phone with you, so that fucking early morning bong hit fucking trashed my throat. But you guys can find me on Instagram at Rusty's_customs. That's my only social media link. I do have like some Facebook or some shit, but I've never been on it. Some people made it for me years ago. I got like 3 Facebook accounts actually, and even under like fake names. So, woohoo. Yeah, fake Facebook profiles. I hear you can't get those anymore. So, but I don't know. Instagram ones, I get bought Instagrams all the time. Fucking, but you can find me there, man. Come check out my shit. I make custom Hot Wheels. I also make like jerky, salsas, stuff like that.
Send me some jerky.
So, yeah, you want some jerky?
I do.
You like hot stuff? You like hot stuff?
I did. No, I'm only
Hot
friends
stuff?
with the same friends you're friends with. Bob.
Like, I mean, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So Bob sent me some peppers, man, and I've been making salsa and jerky out of them. Dude.
All right, you're making me hungry.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for listening to this episode Out of the Blank. Stay tuned for next episode.